Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we're looking at the Yakima EXO System with the SwingBase, the DoubleUp Bike Rack, and the ski and snowboard carrier here on our 2018 Ford Edge. So the Yakima EXO System is a modular system where you get to mix and match different accessories. What I have right here is the SwingBase, but you can also add the TopShelf to get 2 levels of accessories. That way you can maximize your hitch. So let's say on your Ford Edge you all want to go out for an adventure, go camping, go hiking. If you get a roof rack, you already filled it up. If you don't have a roof rack and you want to fully utilize your hitch, this may be an option for you. So let's take a look at the different features of our EXO system. So first off, we're going to take a look at how it sits on our vehicle right over here. So we'll take some measurements real quick because the SwingBase is going to be your base system. So when it comes to ground clearance, the SwingBase is the lowest point of the system no matter what your accessory is. So your ground clearance over by the arms are going to be 13.5 inches. Ground clearance underneath the large swing system is 12.5 inches. And then ground clearance right over here below the shank, it's gonna sit at about 9.75 inches from the ground to the bottom of that shank. So whenever you're going up a steep incline like a driveway or a hill or over some bumps or over some ruts, you're gonna see how that ground clearance is gonna be very important to make sure that this does not hit the ground. Let's also take a look at some length measurements. So we're gonna measure from our rear bumper on our Ford Edge to the end of the SwingBase by those knobs. So that sits out at about 29.25 inches. Now the DoubleUp Bike Rack sticks out a little bit further. So that's gonna sit at 34 inches away from your bumper. So whenever you are backing into your garage or trying to park into a really tight spot, please remember that you have this system on your hitch and account for that extra length added to the back of it. Okay, we'll take a look now at a major portion of our SwingBase system, which is that it swings away. So to do so, first, you need to rotate this knob. Now while I'm here, I noticed that we actually have limited clearance between the knob and our bumper. So we have about an inch or about 1.5 inches of space behind that knob. So if you are a larger person, you may need to squeeze behind here in order to rotate that knob. So just keep that in mind with this on your Ford Edge. But once you have that knob fully loosened, you can then pull this other lever in the edge and then swing it out a full 90 degrees until that knob catches in the corner. And you'll want to swing this all the way out if either you want to take your bikes off. Notice how this is perfectly designed so that you can access this bike on one side, and if you have 2 bikes on, you can take it off on the other side, or your friend can do it at the same time while you open up your trunk. So see how we have clearance between our hatch door and our bike's wheel, meaning we can get into our trunk, maybe grab our larger items, our tables, our chairs, whatever we need for camping. We have all this space to do so with this completely swung away. So whether you have your bike rack, whether you have your cargo basket or your cargo box on here, there's plenty of space to work with here on our Ford Edge. While we're here, let's take a look at our bike rack. So we have the DoubleUp Bike Rack, and we have a front wheel clamp here in the front, and then our wheel strap in the back. So I really like that front wheel hook design because then even if I have a carbon frame bike here, if I have an alternate frame bike like a women's bike, children's bike, or a step-through bike, this makes it a lot easier to mount and dismount those bikes and keep them secured instead of the traditional hook style that comes down to the middle. You also have that rear wheel strap that when you do want to take off your bike, that's where you start. So you start by pressing that lever and just pulling up on that strap. Try to leave it to the side as much as you can. Then come over here to the front. Hold on to your bike as you do so. Press this button, lift that up, push that out, and from here, just lift your bike off and you are ready to go on a bike ride. And with that bike out of the way, we get to take a closer look here at our bike rack. We have this rear wheel cradle, which can tilt back and forth to accommodate different wheelbases. That extra long wheel strap, which can help with your fat tire bikes. So bike tires with a maximum width of 4.8 inches are perfectly fine with this bike rack. You have this front wheel cradle, which stows in that tab over there to make it secure. You have this ratcheting front wheel clamp, which ratchets down, and you have an integrated cable lock on each of those arms. When you do get the SwingBase system, I do recommend getting a large pack of same key system Yakima lock cores, so that when you do get new accessories, you just switch these out with those lock cores. Then you only need one key to access everything. Alright, so let's put this back. This does have a weight capacity of 50 pounds per bike on the SwingBase system. If you have it on a TopShelf, it's 40 pounds per bike. When you do have it fully loaded though, it is going to get kind of heavy. So when that happens, please make sure to use the included jack that holds the corner up when it's out for extended period of time. But when you are ready to go, you just lift this lever up right here, grab it by this end, and bring it back up the ramp, right over there where it secures by that lever, and then tighten it down with this knob. Now this part is very important because this is what's securing your SwingBase arms. You want to make sure this is fully secure before you get back out onto the road. Okay, now the biggest thing about the Yakima EXO system is its modularity. So we'll take a look at that. Now when you want to take and switch out your accessories, you have these locking speed knobs right over there. So make sure the tabs are pushed towards the unlock position, and then just rotate them to open up those tracks. And once that is open, you can then just lift this bike rack out and switch it with a different accessory. So you can put the EXO gear locker on there, which is a cargo box, or you can put the Gear Warrior, which is a cargo basket. And what I'm going to do is put the Snowbank, which is our ski and snowboard carrier. So we'll just switch that around, fit those into those tracks, and then tighten them down. Do so on both sides. Note how those speed knobs have lock cores on them. Those come with the SwingBase themselves, and if they're unlocked, they do fully tighten down. And you press those tabs in order to secure them, and when they are locked, they spin freely. Alright, so this is the Snowbank ski and snowboard carrier. Note how we have a really large button right over here. That way, even if you have your large gloves on, it's pretty easy to open and close those. You have this rubber cushion on the inside that's going to help out with your skis and your snowboards, especially when they're wet with snow. This can carry 5 pairs of skis or 4 snowboards. This does depend, of course, on the size of your skis and snowboards. You do get a double joint at the end though. That's going to help with your extra large bindings. And then when you do want to secure those skis and those snowboards, you just push them all the way down. You get different tabs depending on the height of your skis and snowboards. That's going to help you get a better fit. Now let's take a look at some measurements real quick. The furthest point, since this is the longest accessory, the length added to the back of your vehicle whenever this is on is going to be 38 inches of length. Now your ground clearance is going to stay the same. We'll take a quick look at closest point here at the top, which is where your top shelf is going to come up from. That's going to be 4 5/8 inches away from your bumper. So just account for that for whenever you want to consider getting the top shelf to go up to add that second layer to your Yakima EXO system. Now your weight capacity is of course going to depend on what kind of accessories you want. please make sure your hitch has enough tongue weight capacity. What we have here has a weight capacity of over 600 pounds, but things can get very heavy depending on what kind of cargo you're carrying. Now, this does use an anti-rattle bolt to lock it down. It also comes with a wrench to tighten that down, but I do recommend picking up a socket wrench with a 24mm socket because that's going to make it so much easier to use. You also get a lock that goes on the end of the anti-rattle bolt. That is key to the locks on your locking speed knobs. Again, try to pick up a large pack of same key system lock cores from here at eTrailer from Yakima, because that's going to make it a lot easier to key things alike. Now with that tightened down and with this lock in place, we were able to take a look at how the SwingBase works with our system. The biggest thing is the modularity. Take a look at our product pages here at eTrailer just to see those different accessories and what they do. But that was a look at the Yakima EXO SwingBase here on our 2018 Ford Edge.